Hi there, this is Dan from onlinebasscourses.com. Hope you're doing well, coming at you from a very boomy, poorly lit room. This is my new studio. I'm in Singapore. We've just moved from London. My wife's got a job here and my stuff is all in a shipping container to arrive in a few days. So I'm going to do a studio tour and hopefully this will look and sound better the next video I do. So I'm doing a couple of Q&As. I've had 2 questions and this is the second question. And it's to do with the recent video I did on harmonics, and Richard, who's asked the question, really likes the idea of harmonics, loved the sound of it, but just couldn't get any sound. So this video is for a beginner, is someone who's struggling with harmonics, and I myself do remember getting past the stage of knowing how to fret a note, but then when it came to harmonics I was a bit baffled as well. So at some point in this lesson I'm going to grab my iPhone and give you a sort of technically poor shot, but it should explain or show you exactly what I mean here, but I'll explain it first. So there are different types of harmonics. I was doing some tapped ones and some artificial ones, but natural harmonics are the most common ones used. You know, Jacko and Portrait for Tracy completely knocked out of the park, and Victor Wooten and Michael Mannering, all these players just really pushed the boat out on harmonics, but you can just use them in really nice ways in songs. I'll show you a couple of ways, but look. I'm fretting a C, so as you know by now, the 3rd fret on an A string, that's where the C is. You don't press on, the fret is the metal thing, you just push down behind it, slightly behind it, right next to it. Not very hard, by the way, you don't need to press hard. And you get a note, okay? So that's how we fret a note, but when you play a harmonic, it's a little bit different. And I've done a few videos on harmonics, but I've never actually explained how to play it, because, you know, sometimes teachers like me or players, you sort of just assume that everyone knows, and you forget your own struggles. I've been playing for nearly 30 years now, so I do remember the harmonic struggle, and also slapping as well, but sometimes it's easy to forget that it was really difficult at one point. So I did this. I'm going to get the iPhone out in a minute, but so if you literally count the frets, the metal frets from the beginning, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm on the G string here, and instead of fretting behind the fret, as we do when we play a normal note, C in this case, you hover, you press down your finger on and over the metal fret itself, okay? So that's absolutely not the way you would fret a normal note, okay? And you pluck, and as you pluck, lift up your finger. Now if you go to the 12th fret, literally over the metal fret itself, and do the same thing, that's a G, that's an octave higher. That one's quite easy to get, so if you're struggling with this, just go to the 12th fret and try that. So you're touching the string but not pressing down. So when you fret a note, you press down onto the fretboard. Here you're not, you're just literally touching the string. That creates a natural harmonic. They don't occur on every fret. I've got a fretboard diagram with all the natural harmonics that you can get on a bass guitar. It's in a free book that I've got that's at onlinebasscourses.com. If you don't have that already, it's got loads of really good stuff in it, so I'll put a link to that below. But that one's quite easy to get. There's the same note, an octave higher. I'm going to get my iPhone out just to show you exactly what I mean. Okay, so there's that 5th fret. That's the C. That's where you would normally press down. Can you see down there? Yeah, look. That's the fretboard, okay? Now, if I play a harmonic, I move across a bit, and look, you can't really see it there, but I'm not pressing, maybe there you can. I'm not pressing down, I'm just touching. Now, such is the expert level of my setup now that I can't really play with my right hand, can I? You can just, so you see how I'm not pressing down, just lightly touching. Then with that pressure and that positioning, ideally I'd have a better camera setup and be able to show you that as you pluck, you come away, not too early, otherwise you'll get that or nothing, you know. So you've got to press very lightly onto the string and come away. Here on the 12th fret, it doesn't really matter if you keep that finger down, but Okay, a couple of nice little things that you can play to practice this with. I've got a video with loads of chords that you can use, and that's also in that free book. But look, if you just press over that 5th fret of the G string, and then do exactly the same on the D string. I'm just plucking normally. Don't worry too much about any fancy fingering here. Let's just do 1st finger, 1st finger. So both 5th frets of the G and the D, literally over the top. And then taking care not to touch those 2 strings, the G and the D, travel to the 3rd fret of the A string, the C, and fret that note. Do the same thing and hit a G, 3rd fret E string. That's quite nice. If you want to be a bit more advanced than that, you can use your little finger or 3rd finger. And you can add some rhythm in as well. What you realise is that there are some nice places that create good chords. So look, there's a C there. That's a G, that works really nicely. Here, there's a nice B minor chord. So there are just places where you get natural harmonics and where there are also some notes that you can fret, and you can get some really musical ideas. Again, Jacko, he wrote the book on it really, didn't he? But you can come up with your own ideas as well. But of course, technique needs to be correct from the outset, and that really is just a matter of millimeters. So you're, instead of fretting, pressing down against the string into the fretboard, you're over the fret and you're not pressing entirely in, you're touching it. A lot of bass playing is about touch and coordination between the hands. So, you know, this takes time, and you'll really progress on the bass by doing a little bit every day, okay? It's all about muscle memory, but you want to train your muscles to do the correct movements, you know, because you can train your muscles to do the incorrect things as well. So whatever you do, the approach is the same. It's just taking this slowly and really focusing on tone. If it sounds good and it feels good and you're in no pain, that's the way to do it. And you build on that, and you can build speed and stamina as you go. So I hope that taught you at least something about how to play some very basic harmonics. Check out those other videos to increase your skills a bit more. And do feel free to leave a comment below with a question or get in touch at onlinebasscourses.com. I was going to do a Q&A of lots of different questions, but actually I think it's good to focus on just one thing in one video. So if you've got any questions whatsoever about gear or what have you, I'm hoping that my studio will be nice and set up next time, sound a bit better, look a bit better, and I can move on from there. But thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.